back to my channel. So today I thought I would film a kind of like postpartum catch up. Those of you who are new to my channel, I had twin girls 11 weeks ago. So I have twin girls, their names are Rose and Ivy. And then I also have a 3-year-old boy named Cody. So I've got three and under. So as you can imagine, our life is quite hectic right now. But this one's Ivy, and Rose right now, she's having a nap. Ivy should be having a nap too, but they don't like to sleep at the same time. I had the girls just over 11 weeks ago, and I had to get an elective C-section because they were both breech. So just purely dedicated to my kind of C-section experience and recovery. But just kind of briefly, it was fine, and 11 weeks in, I'm completely recovered and kind of feeling back to normal. So that's been quite good. A lot better than the first time around with my son. I didn't feel like fully recovered for a good kind of like 6 months afterwards. So it's definitely an improvement. Weight loss wise, I gained just over 60 pounds with the girls. So that was a lot, but obviously it was twins, so I kind of expected I would probably gain quite a lot of weight. Today I've lost around about kind of 40 odd pounds, I would say. I'm not going to say that all that was me though, because obviously a lot of that was the baby and, you know, the placenta and everything like that. But I have been watching what I've been eating, I have been exercising, and I am going to do another video on my channel in the next couple of weeks about my kind of like fitness journey and getting back into shape. But obviously with 3 kids it's quite difficult, so I'm just kind of taking it easy and just trying to like mainly watch what I eat. I feel as if I watch what I eat, then I'm kind of like halfway there, and then I can just exercise whenever I get the chance. Basically, when I went for my C-section, when I came out of the section and I was in recovery, the doctor came over and she said, "You've got an ovarian cyst. It's quite large, so I would like you to get referred and get someone to look at it." So I was kind of like, I don't really know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, and I was very caught up in just having the girls that I kind of just like put that at the back of my mind. So about 6 weeks later I go for the checkup. They do the internal scan, which is always pleasant if you've ever had it, and I get told that they couldn't see the cyst and that the woman thought that it must have ruptured. So that's great. So she was like, "You don't need to worry about that, but go back and get checked by your fertility doctor just in case there's anything he wants to discuss." Because if you don't know, I conceived the girls on Clomid because me and my husband had secondary infertility. So I had to go back to him, and he did another scan and he found the cyst. And the cyst is over 5 centimeters large, so he says it's quite on the big side. So I've had a few tests done. One test to test basically if it's the onset of ovarian cancer, which is just what you want to hear when you've just had your newborn twins. So that wasn't obviously the best day, the best news, but we're just trying to stay positive. The way I see is, I don't really know what I'm actually what I'm worrying about. Am I worrying that I have that? Because obviously I don't have the results back yet. So I'm getting the results back. I think they said it will take about 3 weeks, so I'm getting the results back for that, and then I'll just see from there. But he says it's likely that I would have to get the cyst removed or even the whole ovary removed, which would basically be a similar kind of procedure to a C-section. So I'm kind of not looking forward to that, because, you know, you've just had baby, you've spent 9 months not feeling yourself, and then, you know, you recover, and I finally feel like I'm getting back to myself and able to exercise and everything like that, and then I need to potentially go back in and get another surgery. So I'll just have to see, but I'll obviously keep you updated on that once I know, but I don't really know anything, to be honest. I'm just trying to not worry about it too much. But yeah, it's hard to worry when you get told that, oh, it could be ovarian cancer, so we better do some tests just to check. You're kind of like, geez, I've just had these babies. But yes, enough about me. They were doing great, and then Rose, she started not feeding great. She would refuse to take the bottle. It was just a huge big palaver with her, and I decided that I was going to bottle feed both of them formula, because with my son, he didn't latch correctly, and then I tried to pump, but then I never had time. I never felt as if I was making enough milk. So I ended up having to combination feed, you know, like give them bottles with formula and then give them a bottle with breast milk, and then it just ended up just being easier and more practical to feed them the formula and less stressful on me. So when I found out it was twins, I was like, oh well, we'll just do the formula feeding, because there's no way I would have enough time to kind of pump and look after 3 kids. But with Rose, she just didn't like the bottle. We had the Tommy Tippy size 1 teats, and she just didn't like them. So I ended up, when we got home from the hospital, I ended up breastfeeding her, and we got on great. And she was the first baby I ever had that breastfed brilliant. And I tried to breastfeed Ivy, and Ivy just wasn't for having it. She was very like my son, just wouldn't latch, was screaming. And like, I know a lot of people would say, oh, you should have just persevered, but when you've got a screaming newborn who won't latch, and then you've got a toddler who's wanting to play with you, and you're trying to tell him that, you know, you will play with him, but, you know, you need to feed her first, but then she's not feeding correctly, and then you've also got your other newborn in the corner crying because, you know, maybe she's wanting fed at the same time or whatever. It was just a disaster. So I decided just to stick to feeding Ivy a bottle of formula and then breastfeeding Rose. And that went on for the first month, and it was really hard, but Rose got on good breastfeeding. She was less colicky, she was less sick, she was less whiny. And then with Ivy, she was completely fine on the bottle, so it just kind of made sense for that. Just kind of like whatever makes the babies happy, I guess. But as you can imagine, with having twins and having, you know, one breastfed and one bottle fed, it became very difficult, especially if they wanted to get fed at the same time. You know, how would you, I just couldn't position Rose on the boob and then hold Ivy with the bottle at the same time and burp her. So I started to introduce the bottle to Rose, and we changed to the Dr. Brown's bottles, and she much preferred them. And there we go, she went on the bottle, and I kind of slowly took her off of the boob. I'm not feeling bad about it, because I did feel bad with my son, felt very, very guilty, so I'm definitely not going down that line again. I feel fine doing that, and it means that my husband can help me out as well if needs be, which is useful. But I do kind of feel a little bit sad that if I had just had Rose, I would have totally, like, exclusively breastfed her, because it was enjoyable, it wasn't sore, and, you know, it seemed fine. But it just kind of shows you that when I had my son, and then when I tried to breastfeed Ivy, it wasn't enjoyable, it was sore, they weren't latching, and then I had a baby who latched correctly, and it wasn't sore, and it was enjoyable, and it was comfortable, and that kind of like changed my whole mind on breastfeeding and the kind of experience, and that it doesn't need to be a really horrible, negative, agony, bleeding nipples kind of journey. So I do kind of feel a bit sad that I wasn't able to continue that with Rose, but, you know, practically I just couldn't do it with, like, twins and then a 3-year-old and a dog barking continuously. So that's where we are with that. sleep, or the lack of sleep I should say. For the first nine weeks, they literally got fed every 2 to 3 hours, and that was including the night time as well. So I was getting up, you know, I think I put them down about 10, then I would get up at like 12, and then I'd get up maybe like 2 or 3, and then I would get up again at like 5ish, and then I would have to get up with my son at 6. So it wasn't fun, but the last 2 weeks they've actually slept for a total of about 7 hours during the night. Guys, I'm going to do a video on our kind of day routine, and in that I'll include our nighttime routine and how I get them to sleep through the night. I don't think that what I do is going to make every baby sleep through the night, but it's what I did with my son, and that seemed to kind of work around about the 10-week mark as well. So, you know, it's worth a try. So keep your eyes out for that one. Sleep, or the lack of sleep I should say. For the first nine weeks, they literally got fed every 2 to 3 hours, and that was including the night time as well. So I was getting up, you know, I think I put them down about 10, then I would get up at like 12, and then I'd get up maybe like 2 or 3, and then I would get up again at like 5ish, and then I would have to get up with my son at 6. So it wasn't fun, but the last 2 weeks they've actually slept for a total of about 7 hours during the night. Guys, I'm going to do a video on our kind of day routine, and in that I'll include our nighttime routine and how I get them to sleep through the night. I don't think that what I do is going to make every baby sleep through the night, but it's what I did with my son, and that seemed to kind of work around about the 10-week mark as well. So, you know, it's worth a try. So keep your eyes out for that one. What I'm enjoying about having twins is that honestly, they're so cute. They're just starting to kind of notice one another now. So they will sometimes look at each other, and then they'll smile. So that's absolutely adorable. And I love waking up during the night and looking in their cot, and they always sleep in the same way. So like if one's got their head turning that way, the other one will, or if, you know, they both have their arms like lying out like that. It's really cute. So I've got like 1,000 million photos on my phone just of them sleeping in the cot, of all of the positions that they're in synchronization. So that's really, I would say we're adjusting good. My son, who is he's 3.5, he loves being a big brother. I knew he would, but he's really took to it much better than I even thought he would. Absolutely no jealousy. He's just like obsessed with his sisters, and he just wants to hold them and hug them, and he wants them to sit on his knee, he wants to feed them a bottle, he wants to play with them. So that's been really beautiful to watch, and I feel as if he's been good because there's been so many times where we haven't been able to do as much as I would like with him, but he totally understands. He's like, it's okay mummy, you know, fit the babies, whatever, most of the time anyway. So he's been really great that way. So I'm really proud of him. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of a bit all over the place, but as I say, I need to take the time to film when I can, so that's just it. I hope that it's made sense. It's not just one big ramble. I thought I would just kind of like film it more like, you know, sitting down with friends, just kind of like catching up over a cuppa, even though I don't really get much chance to sit down and have a cuppa, but that's okay because these babies are so cute. That's enough for me. I will be back with some more videos. Like I say, I'm going to do a video on my C-section like experience, and I'm also going to do a day in the life video, and I'm also going to do a kind of like babies must-haves. So if you're interested in that, then please subscribe to my channel. Yeah, and check us out and check me out on Instagram. I post every single day, and it's mainly just about our adventures of being a family of 5. So I will see you guys later.